The following program was partially funded by the Florida Endowment for the Humanities, with support from the National Endowment for the Humanities.
Father, I stretch my hand to thee. No.
My grandmother is Lucreaty Clark. She is known as the basket maker of Jefferson County, Florida. Before her, her parents, both of them made baskets, and I believe her grandmother and great-great-grandparents made baskets.
If thou withdrew thyself from me, oh, whither shall I go? If thou withdrew.
My grandfather made baskets. And when my mother was a child, he would make baskets. And he would make cotton baskets, and also he'd make small ones. So that's the way she learned. And then after she learned how to make them, and she grew up, and she met my father, and her and him married. But then she decided she would learn him how to make baskets, and she did. So her and him would make baskets every September when the cotton season come on. They would make a lot of baskets for the folks that was having the big cotton farms. Well, I learned by my parents. They was making them, and well, I would sit around them and watch them make baskets, and I'd watch my mother split the oak, and she would split off pieces. She'd be losing some pieces, and she'd split them and drop them, and I would pick them up. And sometime it'd be more than me after the oak, and we'd be trying to race to get the piece of the oak, see what we could do with it. So we'd save and save until we get enough, and then we'd get us a little old case knife and sit down and get out some little splits. Mama would tell us how many to get out. So we would get out 8, and sometime I would get them out, but they'd be too stout for a little bitty basket. And when I would get it started, and I tried to run it round while my splits would just scatter out. I couldn't get them together, and I'd cry.
My grandmother has passed on values that we really honor and go by.
Always be particular while living and try to do the thing that was right. I say, and always have manners wherever you go. I said, manners will carry you where money can't. And they all remembers it. They sits down and talk that over with me now. And I said, always treat people nice. Treat them like you wish to be treated. I said, don't care what kind of color it is. Treat them nice. if they treat you nice. I saying you live your days out.
Yes, do thou self from me. Oh, where
It feels wonderful just to know that the Lord has spared me here, you know, and let me be able to see my great-grands. Yes,
Wonderful.
I didn't think I'd have been able to see them some time ago, you know, and I'd be sick. I didn't think I'd have ever seen a great-grand, but I done seen a lot of great-grands. And I enjoy them, my grands and my great-grands. Enjoys them being around me.
As far as I know, I think Jefferson County has always had plantations. When the plantations were built, the slaves usually picked cotton and put them in the baskets and took them to the gin mills. They also did farming as well as barrel work and making clothes and cooking.
They used them for putting cotton in them, and they use them for raking leaves, scattering them out across the field, and picking up sweet potatoes, gathering peanuts, and when the peanuts dry, they would put them into those baskets, and they would use them for shucking corn and putting the shucks in the large one and the corn in the smaller one. They use them for some of everything. They use them still that way. They use them for corn. When they're breaking corn, they'll use them loading corn in the fields, and they'll use them, or they just use them everywhere, just like I said, and they use them for laundry baskets.
Grandma knows games passed on from 3 generations ago, and one name in particular is Palmanita.
You would just form all the children round in a ring like that, you know, just have a good large ring of them. And then you get a stick, or some little something, and you give it to one, and the one hold the needle, and then one extra one will get in the ring, in the middle of the ring by itself, and then they'll all go to hollering, "Palm needle," and they'll say, "Palm needle is running," and they'll go to handing that needle from one to the other. And this one will take it, and that one will take it, and that one that's in the ring is going round, sucking them down for the needle. And he's saying, "Palm needle is running, palm needle is running." They'll say, "That needle ain't running, palm needle is running. Palm needle ain't running, palm needle is running." And they're sucking them up and down. "Catch a palm needle is running. Catch that needle, palm needle is running." And finally they'll catch the palm needle, and he's saying, "Palm needle is running, palm needle is running." They'll say, "That needle ain't running, palm needle is running. Palm needle ain't running, palm needle is running."
My great uncle is Sam Perry. He lives a few miles from Grandma. Uncle Sam built the house, barn, corn crib, sugarcane mill, syrup house, and smokehouse by hand. He's always been a farmer, even when he worked at other jobs.
Well, I remember most about my father. He was a hard worker, and he farmed pretty well all his life till he got unable to farm. Well, the most important thing was to learn to work for honest living and not mind it. I have worked hard all my life and didn't mind it. I always felt that if I was working, I could promise myself something, but if I was fooling around, I couldn't promise myself anything. And as I grew up and would get out on different jobs, I always felt to give my employer an honest day's work, regardless of which. Best of all, I like farming best of all.
I know if thou withdrew thyself from me, oh, whither shall I go?
I said, well, one done been in the chair once did us was enough. I said, and that was President Hoover. I said, now that when Hoover was in the chair, I said, that was a starving, hard year. I said, it was hard. I said, looked like everything, all the money, looked like had dried up and everything. And so I was hoping to the Lord that none of them didn't come along just like that one. I don't think he lasts, but let me see, did he carry out the 4 years? I think he carried the 4 years out. And then was 4 years of temptations. Ooh. You couldn't get many things. You couldn't get nothing for what you worked for. You couldn't get nothing to sell to come to nothing. And you just had to try to make it the best you could. This is catnip. You make a tea out of it. Men mostly make it for little babies when they're young and they have the hearts. And you want to keep it coming out on them and it to dry up. You make them a tea out this, and you take this and pick the leaves of it good and wash it and put it in a cup and pour some boiling water in on it and top it up and let it sit. And then when you put your little sugar in it and feed it to the baby. And it'll keep it coming out on them and dry it up too. I used to love to cook. Loved to cook. When I was young and since I've been old, I loved to cook. All I'd want to do, get something where I could cook it. And then I was happy. And then I had a friend that lived close to me. Me and her would be together a lot. Long in them days, it was tough. Food looked like was very hard to get. I know sometime we would go in the river swamp and we'd pick up mayholes. It was lots of mayholes then. It was just plenty of them. First, she came to my house and she found me cooking some. And she ate dinner with me. And we should say, I'm gonna get me some. So she came one day and me and her went out there and we got us a pan full. And she went on home and we cooked it. And we had us another good dinner.
The church is an important part of Black life, especially in my family. Grandma was only in her teens when she first felt the Spirit herself, but she remembers it like it was yesterday.
Go tell you to be good. She used to always tell us, she said, and you say your prayers when you go into bed. And the Lord, He'll watch over you till day. Say, cause when you lay down, you don't know whether you wake up again. And so I'd always remember that. And I would try to teach my children the same thing, because I know I couldn't keep them living, and when he get ready to take them, he'd take them. Sure would. Because I went along a long time after I had prayed and got religion, until I just bust out of me. And I couldn't hold my peace no longer. And I had to let somebody know it. So it did, because it was killing me, looked like.
Moses talked about this precious gift. Tell me, Moses man on Mount Sinai as a flame of fire. Moses had an experience with this gift of God down in the land of Egypt.
It's a powerful, wonderful feeling when the Spirit of the Lord, get in you and look like you can't get it out. And everywhere you turn, you can hear a little song look like something following you. And you move around from there, and you go yonder, it's the same thing. You go out in the field, the same thing. You just got to do something. Because I made him a promise that I would pray and I wouldn't turn back no more. If it was his will, kill me dead.
You took care of the seed on seed.
Well, they elect me for a mother. It is to say, the life you're living and the staff you're carrying. So they see fit that I should be a mother. I try to live like the Bible said. That's all I want to do. I say, if I can get inside of the kingdom door, I can sit down and rest a little while. Then I'll get to singing that song where, oh, sit down, servant. Sit down, I know you're tired. Sit down, you come from a long way. Sit down and rest a little while. Oh yes. Sit down, I know you're tired. Sit down, you come from a long way. Sit down and...
Usually the mothers of the church are like deacons. They take care of the church and help the other members get along. They also help out during baptisms, the most important religious experience of a person's life.
When I was baptized, when we dressed and marched out going to the pond, the pastor, he be ahead of us, and we all be dressed in white, and we be going down to the pond singing, I love Jesus, oh, I love Jesus. I love Jesus. Yes, I do. Ain't none but the righteous. None but the righteous, and none but the righteous shall we'll see God. And we'll go on down to the pond and get lined out around the pond, and the one deacon, he wades out in the water. He goes and stake up the stick, and then he'll stand there, and after a while the pastor get ready and he'd go down to the edge of the water, and the deacon will meet him and get him and carry him on out there. And then they'll stand out there and they'll have a prayer and sing a hymn. And then they'll begin taking the candidates. The mothers will take the candidates down to the edge of the water and hand them to the deacons, and they'll take them on out in the water to the pastor, and they'll baptize them. When they're going to baptize them, they'll say, peace and obedience, and according to God's holy command. So we're going to baptize Sister whosoever it be, in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost, and they sink you under the water. Oh, I love Jesus.
My family, none of us have taken on the trade of making baskets, but my grandmother hopes one of us will learn one day.
Yes, I do. But the young people don't seem to take an interest in it. You know, they don't seem to care for learning it. So I don't bother them. They says they wish they could learn, but they don't never make an effort toward trying to learn. So, you know, I done tried to show them and take up some time with them, and so they just can't learn this. So I just said, well, I just well let them alone. They ain't gonna learn it. So you sure have to have patience and time and some interest in it to learn it. And you know, the young people ain't got the patience now. And you know, if they can get better jobs, I don't blame them. Because when they come off their jobs, they're tired and they don't feel like fooling with it. Don't take nothing but an old person that's well experienced of it. Learned it in back days, and he kept it. Some have many diseases, and medicine and doctor don't seem to give much heed. So death have give them a funeral release. I wonder what's they doing there now. That evening, just as dark, I heard a roaring, and I looked out, and I saw another star. And it was coming from the same way. And it went out over yonder. And so when my husband come, I told him about what I had heard. He told me Mr. Gansey was dead. I said, well, sir, well, that seems very funny. I said, when Mr. Gansey's wife died, I said, I saw that same thing. I said, now he dead, and I seen the same thing. I said, I wonder what's that sign of? But you know, I never could get no one to interpret it to me. But that's the way it was. I saw the same thing. And it astonished me because it was right in the first evening after the sun go down, just time the sun got down. I saw that. Well, that make 3 times I saw that a star like that. This other one was way in the comical time, and they called it a comical star. I was sweeping yard, and we had a big old oak tree in the yard like that. And I was sweeping yard one evening, and I heard something coming like a blaze of fire when you throw a fireball. That's the way it went. Woo! And I looked up through the tree and I could see the blaze just going. And it went on over to the west. And I told Mama what I had seen. And I just hid it, none of them didn't see it, because I'd always try to call somebody to show them things. And Mama said, well, it's sign of something. She said, maybe sign of dry weather or wet weather or something. But I never did know. But I used to see a heap of things.
Living here has really been different. It was a drastic change from the living that I was used to, but I think it has all been for the better. These experiences that I've learned from my grandmother, I can never learn them anywhere else.
Well, I think I had a pretty good life. Sometimes there'd be some little ups and downs in it, but then, I made it. Enjoyed it pretty good. I am thinking of a friend who I used to know, who lived and suffered in this world below. But she's gone on to heaven, and I want to know what all she's doing there now. Lord, I wonder what they're doing in heaven today, where sins and sorrows all are dead away, and peace abides like a river, they say. I wonder what they're doing there now.